If you have a pond with fish in it, or you're thinking about building a pond and having some fish in it, you're going to need some form of filtration. I personally prefer pressurized biosystem. You get two benefits from it: physical filtration, and you get biofiltration in a pressurized canister. The thing I like about that over a gravity feed, you can run water through it at a little faster rate. The more fish you add, the more filtration you're going to need. I have right now a 500 gallon per hour pump and one pressurized canister. I'm going to add a second canister to that. For one reason, I had somebody ask me if that could be done, and I didn't have a real good answer. So I'm going to give it a try, and we're going to see what this is going to do. I'm just going to give you an overview of the new filter that I'm going to pick up. So let's go ahead and get started on that right now. I picked up another filter for my koi pond. This is what it looks like in the box. Let me get it out of the box and we'll look closer at it. I can say that it's packaged very well. You get a full set of instructions. You get the filter and you get a whole bag of adapters and the handle that you use to clean the filter with, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. This is the handle that goes on top, and then you turn this and it rotates a sponge inside the canister to clean it. The sponge is what grabs the debris. This has a 13-watt UV sterilizer bulb. This control right here is a water diverter. This is your inlet. This is your outlet going back into the pond or to your water feature waterfall. This, when you turn it this way, and it's pretty tight, it's got seals and stuff in it, it changes the water flow. The arrow shows the direction of the water flow. This is going to be your discharge water. So when you get ready to clean this filter, you're going to turn it to here, you're going to turn this handle, and it's going to rotate the sponge and squeeze everything out. The water is going to come out of here very dark and go to wherever you run the discharge water. I run mine to a little flower bed right over there. What I like to do is put about a foot of clear hose on here. That way, as the dirty water's coming out, you can see the dirty water, or you can just look at the discharge point and see when the water starts to run clear again. Then you're going to turn the diverter back, and then you're going back to your water feature. I'll show you how this filter works. You open this clamp. Once you get this clamp off, this piece comes out, and this will be easier when there's water in it to hold this down. There is an O-ring seal in here, and these are your sponges. This is what, when you turn the handle, this massages the sponges, squeezes them, in other words, and that's what frees up the dirt that's trapped in the sponges. Now, I have another one of these already, and I've had it for over a year, and I've not had to replace the sponges yet, but the sponges are replaceable, and they are somewhere $25, I think, range, somewhere in that vicinity. I'd have to look online and see, but I haven't had the need to change one yet. So this clamp just goes back on, snaps in place. Be sure that the O-ring doesn't have any debris on it, and you're ready to go. So it looks like we have, this is for a 1 1/4 inch hose. I have 3 of those. This appears to be for a 1 inch hose, and I have 3 of those. These must be 3/4. Yep, 3/4 inch. And it appears I have 3 of those. I have 3 O-rings and 3 flat washers. When it's time to change the filter, you're going to pop this off, take the handle off, pull this out, get the bucket out of the way. You're going to take this screw out, pull this piece off, just unscrews without any tools. Take the screw out, don't lose the screw. This piece pulls off. Then each one of the filters will pull off in turn. All the foam filters go back on in reverse order. Screw this piece in, put the little stainless steel screw back in, flip her over, and it goes back into the bucket. and there's no particular way that it goes into the bucket. Just be sure that the O-ring is clear, no debris on it. Put your clamp back on it. Snap it closed, and you're ready to put it back into service. I'm running out of daylight, so in the morning I'll put some hoses on this and we'll get her going. As you can see, I now have two of these filters. Both of them are exactly the same. This is the new one I don't have hooked up yet. This is the old one. I'm waiting on some hoses. The inlet hose, I'm going to suggest you go at least with 1 1/4 inches. The outlet hose, you can do whatever you want with that. And what I'm going to do on here, I'm going to put 1 1/4 inches with a more flexible hose. This hose flows well, but it is extremely rigid, and it's hard to get it to go where I want it to go, bend as fast as I want it to bend. When the new hose comes in, this will go from the pump to this point here. I'll put the same size hose from this discharge over to the inlet on this pump. This one is going to be my discharge into the waterfall, and it will have a separate discharge over to my flower bed. And this is the clear hose I was telling you about. When you change this diverter valve, you'll be able to see the water flow through there. Now this water, my water is clear right now. I don't have much bioactivity in the wintertime, so these will both be disconnected for the wintertime. If you want to bury the canisters, there's instructions on how to do so, and it makes them a little more weather resistant. I just don't, at 20 below, I don't have any bioactivity in the pond, so I don't worry about it. You just disconnect them. But this is the handle that you would turn, and if there was anything in the filter, that would turn brown, and then you just let it go until that water clears up. I'll do the actual stacking of these in another video. The advantage that I'm going to have is obviously double the filtration, so I can support more fish in a small pond. I'll have double the UV, 13 here and 13 here. So I think all in all, it's going to allow me to support more fish life than a single canister would allow me to do. Hey, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you got anything out of this video, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. I'm gonna throw a couple of other videos up over here for you to look at. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll get to them as quick as I can. The second filter is actually the result of a question that I got in comments. So I do pay attention to them. I try to answer them as soon as I see them. I don't always get notifications, but I'll get to them as quick as I can. Appreciate it. Take care, and I'll catch you in one of these videos, or I'll catch you down the road.